Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is How Do People Perceive You? Okay, so I did pull the cards for people in general, but I guess you could have like a certain person or, group of people or, group of people in a certain environment in mind before you choose your group. But I will be reading it generally, okay? So we do have four groups for you to choose from. Group one, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. If you do need a moment to choose your group, feel free to pause the video for a little while, but I will see you guys in your readings. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you. How do people perceive you at the moment? Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, no, upright, the Star in reverse, and the Knight of Cups upright. Okay, so how are people perceiving you? At the moment, people could perceive you as struggling. Could be, could be in different ways for each of you, but it could be mentally, financially, or emotionally, or, with a current job, like facing challenges in some area of your life. And they kind of just see you as being a bit distressed. Like people could also perceive you as trying to figure out how to come back from something, how to recover in some way. They see you as feeling, burned out, a little lost, but also trying to change your circumstances. So they don't really feel like you're, kind of just, allowing things to happen, but they do feel like you are trying to push against it, but it is just very hard for you to, make certain changes or positive changes in your life at the moment, or kind of change, certain circumstances. People see you as someone that would make a good partner, or you do make a good partner, a good wife, or a good husband, even though people could assume you aren't really looking for a romantic relationship at the moment if any of you are single. For some of you, even if you are in a relationship, people could perceive you as not attached to anyone, but they do think you would make a good partner if you were. But overall, it feels like people are, seeing you as quite stressed, kind of vulnerable. They think you are in need of support, but not really receiving any. They either think you're, afraid to ask for help, or you're just, you just don't want to. For the majority of you, though, it feels like people think you don't want to ask for help and you kind of just want to maybe kind of go through something alone or kind of work something out, for yourself and by yourself. It's because people aren't really perceiving you as stubborn, so they could feel like there's a reason. So I think I just said this, but they could see you as still recovering from a loss or a setback. They could feel there have been some changes to maybe your finances and you're dealing with it in the best way that you can, but it is, a struggle for you. Most people believe that your struggles are temporary and think you aren't giving up as well. Even though they think you aren't giving up, they do feel that you may not have much faith in yourself at the moment. Like people could perceive you as feeling alone. Some people do perceive you as having made negative changes, or negative changes are just happening, but it kind of feels like people see the negative changes in your life as not being your fault, like just maybe external circumstances. And, they kind of think that you don't really see a clear path out of your struggles. And for some of you, like they even perceive you as not really seeing your potential or just struggling to see your potential, maybe because of, certain circumstances. For some of you, they could feel that you don't really know how to, best use your potential at the moment. So they could also perceive you as finding it difficult to be motivated or stay motivated. Like a lot of people do perceive you as needing to heal, needing to take care of yourself, maybe needing to um, prioritize or set aside some time for self-care. For some of you, people feel like you need to, eat better. For some of you, like, for health, and maybe they feel like that could, positively impact you. But people overall just see you as kind of burned out, losing confidence in yourself. And people do perceive you as apathetic towards them. Some people could feel that you need to trust them or trust other people a bit more. People also perceive you as maybe needing to find something that inspires you, something that kind of really pushes you and motivates you, something that you're passionate about. And a lot of people do feel that there's this need for you to connect with yourself again, maybe connect with other people. People do perceive you as charming at times, quite generous. Some people do perceive you as immature, but not necessarily in a negative way. And overall, like they do think you need to be patient with yourself and patient for, positive changes to happen for you. And, on the outside looking in, people could feel that now isn't a good time for you to, make big plans or commitments. They feel like you should, like maybe baby steps, kind of like be patient. But people are also perceiving you as quite creative, and just at the moment they just feel that you aren't in the best place, that you could be a bit cold at the moment or a bit unfeeling. But it doesn't feel like anyone's holding that against you or anything like that. But anyways, that's all I have for those of you who chose this group. I'm only using tarot cards. I hope that's okay. But I'm wishing you guys the best, okay? Please take care of yourselves. Bye. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the second group, then this reading could be for you. How do people perceive you at the moment? All right, so we have the Four of Wands upright, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Pentacles upright. Sorry. Okay. All right. So it feels like people do perceive you as very stable, quite comfortable and confident, self-assured as well. They feel that you have achieved a lot for yourself. They perceive you as, quite supported and loved in your life. They perceive you as, carefree, but at the same time ambitious. They may not see you as, like forcefully ambitious at the moment. They could feel like you have achieved quite a lot. So you're more laid back when it comes to your ambitions. And yeah, so they do see you as having this very strong foundation, and just generally you being a very easygoing person. Like they perceive you as a great person to talk to. They feel like you are someone that has a lot of experience, maybe a lot of life experience as well. They perceive you as very mature. And they do perceive you as someone that typically seems stress-free. Like even if you are dealing with stress or, have a lot on your plate, if you're busy, they feel like the way you go about it just looks like you're stress-free, even if you do got a lot going on. And So yeah, like you just seem quite chill, regardless of your circumstances or the environment that you're in. They kind of perceive you as, career focused or, focused on your current work. They also think you're very creative. They see you as someone they would like to celebrate with, like they would like to invite out more, maybe hang out with more, socialize with. Like you just seem like a good person to be around. They perceive you as someone they can have good conversations with. They see you as, very positive and interesting. And they see you as a lot of fun, someone that's caring, someone that's quite nurturing as well. People also perceive you as a leader, maybe a natural leader, maybe someone that doesn't, necessarily, it wasn't your intention to be a leader, but they feel like you kind of just fit naturally into that role. Some people perceive you as married, even if you aren't married, they could just feel like you just come across as someone who is attached to someone else. But people see you as very happy, like internally happy, like genuinely happy, and fulfilled. And some people feel dependent on you. Like some people could feel dependent on the relationship that they have with you. Like some people can perceive you as quite important to them and integral to them. Um, maybe in general or just a certain area of their life, but they feel like you are important. And, people do perceive you as quite expressive. Some think you have a beautiful voice as well. People do perceive you as very intelligent, but some people do perceive you as being in your own world at times. People do think that community is important to you. They do perceive you as having strong boundaries. Some people do assume that you are a perfectionist. Some people feel that you are very talented. They also feel that you like to win. That some people could actually perceive you as being used to winning, like used to getting your way. Some people do perceive you as not having to work hard. People do perceive you as intimidating or imposing. For some reason, they definitely don't think it's intentional, but they do think some people can feel threatened by you or around you. Like some people could perceive you as having a bad reputation, but this feels like it's through no fault of your own. It feels like maybe, gossip or hearsay or, people making assumptions about you. It doesn't feel like the majority of people actually have a bad perception of you. It could be people that don't really know you very well. And so people that don't know you very well couldn't, make assumptions about you. But the people that know you actually feel like you are quite a chill, nice person, kind person. But people overall just kind of see you as being in a very good place in your life, in your work or your career. Like people, maybe when it comes to your work or career, like people can perceive you as cruising a little bit, like you've done the hard work and now you're kind of just, just living it, kind of going through the paces when it comes to your work, that you don't really need to be super ambitious at the moment. But yeah, people perceive you as having some freedom, but also having a lot of responsibilities. People perceive you as not very critical or not judgmental, as someone who is, quite kind actually. Some people perceive you as an open book, like you're quite open, even if you don't, be telling everyone your business, but they do see you as someone that is quite open. So they also think that you push people to fulfill their talents and their goals and dreams. They feel that you don't like to see other people wasting their potential. And I think I may have said this already, but some people do perceive you as having, strong boundaries. They see you as having control over yourself, control. over other people as well, your environment, and they feel like you are very influential, even if you don't try to be. And actually, they actually do feel that this is unintentional, that you don't try to be influential, but you just have that natural, leadership about you. And yeah, people do perceive you as good with money. They could feel like you're financially wise and savvy. People perceive you as having this strong awareness, being quite focused as well. Some people could feel that you are afraid to lose what you've built. And even though we have like the Four of Pentacles upright, people don't perceive you as selfish or materialistic. They actually see you as someone that is quite generous. People perceive you as respected, but some people could feel that you are possessive over some people or a person or some area of your life. Like kind of what came up before, that you do like to maybe stay in control of certain things in your life, stay on top of certain things. But anyways, that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really do hope it can be helpful. I'm only using tarot cards today, and I hope that's okay. But I'm wishing you guys the best, okay? Please take care. Bye. Hey, welcome. If you have chosen the third group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing good. So, how are people perceiving you at the moment? You have Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Wands in reverse as well. So for some of you here, people could perceive you as having a strained relationship with your family or certain people within your family. People do perceive you as not having, the most traditional lifestyle, or just some part of your life isn't, for example, like family dynamic or, work situation. But they do feel that the way you do something, or the way a certain part of your life is set up, is very different from, the norm. People tend to see you as impulsive and reckless. Some people perceive you as aggressive, or just, very forward and direct. People do perceive you as not conveying much emotion at times. Some people think you can be stubborn. Some people see you as having unstable relationships, or kind of losing yourself when you are in a relationship. Sorry. So people do think you want to afford yourself a better lifestyle. Not that people actually perceive you as being quite comfortable, like nothing, really being wrong with your lifestyle, but they kind of just feel that you want more, that you want a better lifestyle, that you maybe want a more affluent, lifestyle. For some of you, some people could feel that you have received an inheritance. People do assume that you care a lot about appearances. People also assume that you aren't very ambitious, but they do think you are responsible. People do feel that you have been experiencing some delays. Some people could feel that you have a habit of wasting money, or just feel like you don't have the best relationship when it comes to money. Some people could actually think or assume that you have a lot of debt. But yeah, people get the impression that you don't care much for tradition, or, if you're quite open about that, then, that's how people perceive you. So people also assume that your family and your friends don't approve of some of the things that you do. People perceive you as maybe resisting change, or not being open to change. but they do think you have a habit of rushing into things that you shouldn't. People do think you aren't as passionate as you used to be. They think you seem kind of maybe bored at the moment, maybe a bit more withdrawn than you usually are. Because it feels like people do perceive you usually as quite excitable, but they feel like that kind of that passion, that spark that you usually have isn't there at the moment. Some people perceive you as not being able to travel as much as you did before, or not wanting to travel to somewhere specific. Like some people perceive you as not putting yourself out there as much as you did before, kind of like missing opportunities as well, maybe turning opportunities down. People perceive you as not having much confidence in yourself at the moment. They see you as feeling overwhelmed as well. Some people could see you as being unhappy in your career, your job, or your hobbies, maybe things that, did give you a lot of fulfillment before. But yeah, some people are perceiving you as needing to show more leadership in their life or in certain areas of their life, needing to take more control of, their life or certain areas of your life. At the moment, like there are certain people that perceive you as being taken advantage of by someone specific in your life, not by people in general. They could think there's someone in your life that's kind of like chipping away at your confidence or your self-esteem. People think that there is someone around you that isn't treating you right or isn't treating you fairly. They think someone's being kind of pushy with you, impatient, and that someone is kind of making you lose your sense of self, your ambition. And people do perceive you as kind of growing resentful in certain ways. And some people do perceive you as someone they are kind of like losing patience with, and this could be people close to you. People kind of feel that you aren't going with the flow as much as you did before. People do think you are stuck in the past and unable to look forward. They feel that you looking back constantly isn't helping you. And if any of you have traveled away from someone or a group of people, like for example, your family or your friends, they think that you aren't coming back. Like, that could be a worry of theirs. So like if you traveled away from someone, I know that message earlier came up of people perceiving you as not wanting to travel. So they're kind of worried that you not being able to travel or you not wanting to travel means that they won't be able to see you again or see you as much as they used to. Okay. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could be helpful. I'm only using tarot cards today and I hope that is okay. But I am wishing you guys the best. Alright, please take care. Bye. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the fourth group, then this reading is for you. I hope you guys are doing good. So we have the Page of Swords upright, Two of Wands in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. So people perceive you as a chatterbox, okay? They feel that you like to talk, that you are pretty much open to talking about anything with anyone. People perceive you as very charming, charismatic, that you kind of draw people in. that you're a people person, that you attract people to you like, like a moth to a flame. And people do perceive you as having a very sharp mind, that you're a quick thinker. They perceive you as a great communicator and generally someone who has a lot of great ideas. People do see you as creative and open-minded. They feel that you are always open to learn new things. They could feel that you are open to new experiences as well. They also think that you're very observant, very rational. Some people perceive you as maybe caring a lot about social media, or maybe you're on social media a lot, maybe for work, for some of you guys. Um, people do perceive you as logical. I think I already said this, but they do think you're always learning and that you are generally a very curious person. But they don't kind of feel that you're in people's, business or kind of asking super personal questions. But they do feel that you kind of create an environment or a connection where people do feel that they can talk to you about most things. And, people do perceive you as quite excitable. But overall, like, people see you as someone that is, pretty harmless, kind of gentle. People think you're always looking forward, that you're very creative. People perceive you as loving. For some of you, people could perceive you as like romantic, or into romance, or you like when people are romantic, or you kind of just have that kind of I don't know what the right word would be, but like this attractive and romantic kind of air about you, even if you don't really consider yourself a romantic person. Like, some people could perceive you actually as quite seductive. Some people view you as youthful and immature, not in a bad way, but some people view you as youthful but mature. So some people could view you differently in that way. But yeah, people do tend to think that you have a very interesting perspective on certain things. People perceive you as energetic, open-minded. If I haven't said that already, I think I have. But people see you as wanting to travel but not being able to. People always perceive you as very decisive as well. They think that you're patient. They feel that you don't really rush into things. They do think you're calculated. People do perceive you as cautious of change. They don't feel like you avoid change, and they don't think you're fearful of it either. Just that you like to be sure, that you like to be certain about things. You like your movements to be calculated. So yeah, people also get the impression that you do prefer when you're balanced, when things around you are quite balanced, your environment is balanced, your work is balanced. Like, they feel like you like when everything's just stable and even, and just kind of like makes sense. So yeah, they don't feel that you. Let me see. They can feel that you don't really gel with people that can be quite erratic or impulsive, or aggressive, and those kind of things. But yeah, so a lot of people do perceive you as ambitious, um, but they perceive you as ambitious in a different way. Like, the things that people might typically be ambitious towards, they don't really feel like you're ambitious towards those things. Um, so for some of you, like, they could feel that your ambitions are quite unique, or just very personal to you. Some people think that you don't either that you don't think long term, or that you don't, try to plan too far into the future, or you don't necessarily know what you want long term. But people do see you as unique, unconventional, not very traditional. For some of you, people see you as liking your gadgets, and people do perceive you as not wanting to make the wrong decision. And that's why they think that you're rational, that you take your time with certain things and decisions. But people overall just see you as very happy and content with where you're at. That you're not, chasing or pushing for change in your life. Like, a lot of people can just perceive you as going with the flow in a way, but like thoughtfully, if that makes sense. But anyways, that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could be helpful and make sense. I'm only using tarot cards today, and I hope that's okay. But I'm wishing you guys the best, alright? Take care. Bye.